My girlfriend said, "We're a team. Your bonus is our bonus." I said, "Of course." Then I used my bonus to pay off my parents' mortgage anonymously. Her face when I told her the team was broke except for her money. Original post. I, 29, male, work in logistics management for a mid-sized distribution company. Nothing glamorous, but the pay's decent, and this year I landed the company's biggest client ever. My girlfriend Jessica, 27, and I have been together for 3 years, living together for the last 18 months. Jessica works part-time at a boutique clothing store, maybe 20 hours a week, makes around $1,200 a month, which she uses for her personal expenses. I cover rent, utilities, groceries, basically everything else. Never complained about it because I make good money and figured that's what partners do. About 2 months ago, my boss pulled me into his office. The client I landed saved the company from potential layoffs and brought in serious revenue. They wanted to show appreciation, a $42,000 performance bonus. After taxes, I was looking at around $28,000. Biggest chunk of money I'd ever seen at once. That night, I made the mistake of telling Jessica. Her eyes lit up like Christmas morning. "Baby, this is amazing. We can finally get that new car. And take that Europe trip. Oh, and I saw these designer bags." I nodded along, but something felt off. Then she said it. "We're a team, right? Your bonus is our bonus. That's what couples do, share everything." Something about how she said it, the entitlement in her voice, made me pause. But I just smiled and said, "Of course, babe, we're a team." She immediately started planning. Made Pinterest boards for vacations, bookmarked luxury items, even started telling her friends about our windfall. She was spending that money in her head faster than I could blink. Meanwhile, my parents have been struggling with their mortgage for years. Dad's a mechanic. Mom works at a grocery store. They're good, hardworking people who never asked me for anything. Their mortgage had maybe $26,000 left on it, but with interest rates, they were looking at another 8 years of payments. Mom mentioned once how Dad couldn't retire at 65 like he'd hoped because of it. I made my decision that night while Jessica was asleep, online shopping on her phone. The next day, I went to my parents' bank, set up an anonymous cashier's check for $26,000, had it sent to their mortgage company with instructions to pay off the loan. Took the remaining $2,000 and put it in my emergency fund. Came home that evening to Jessica surrounded by shopping bags. "Babe, I know the bonus hasn't hit yet, but I used my credit card to get us started on the wardrobe upgrades. Almost $3,000, but it's an investment in our future." My stomach dropped. "Jessica, about the bonus." "What? Did they change their minds?" Panic in her voice. "No, it came through, but it's gone." Silence. "Then, what do you mean gone?" "I had some obligations, family stuff. It's all been allocated." Her face went from confusion to rage. "Allocated? You mean our money? What obligations?" "Personal ones. We're a team. You can't just spend $28,000 without discussing it with me." "Funny," I said, staying calm. "You spent $3,000 without discussing it with me. That's different. That was for US." "No, Jessica, that was for you, on your credit card, which is your responsibility." She lost it, complete meltdown, screaming about betrayal, about how I'd ruined her plans, how her friends would think she was a liar. The kicker? She demanded I take out a loan to cover what I stole from us. I just looked at her and said, "The team seems pretty one-sided. Your money is your money, but my money is our money. I barely make anything, you know that. By choice. You could work full-time, but you choose not to. That's not the point. Then what is? You promised we were a team." "We are. That's why I expect you to handle your own credit card bill. Team members contribute, right?" She stared at me, mouth open, then grabbed her phone and called her mom. Update 1. Been a week since the bonus revelation. The entitlement has reached astronomical levels. First, Jessica's mom, Diane, called me the next morning. This woman who hasn't worked in 15 years, living off her third husband's money, had opinions. "How dare you lie to my daughter about that money? She had plans. Plans for my money, Diane. That I earned. You're in a relationship. What's yours is hers." Interesting. So what's hers is mine? Cool. I'll expect Jessica to split all household expenses 50-50 from now on. That's financial abuse. She doesn't make enough. Then maybe she should work more than 20 hours a week? Click. She hung up. Jessica stayed at her friend Megan's place for 3 days. During this time, she posted on social media about financial betrayal in relationships, started a group chat with her friends discussing how I was economically abusing her, demanded I Venmo her $500 for emotional trauma, had her mom call my work, didn't get past reception, thank God. She came back Wednesday evening. Not to apologize, but with a printed spreadsheet. "I've calculated what you owe me," she announced. I actually laughed. "Owe you?" 3 years together. The trips we didn't take, the things we didn't buy because you said we should save. That was training me to live below our means. Now you had this bonus and didn't share. You owe me half, plus interest, plus emotional damages. How much? $18,000. I looked at the spreadsheet. She'd actually calculated lost opportunity costs for designer goods she didn't buy, listed emotional labor as a line item, even added future earnings impact because she was too stressed to work this week. "Jessica, you need to move out." "What? This is insane. You're treating me like an ATM. We're done. You can't kick me out. I have rights. You're not on the lease. You have 30 days. She went nuclear. "I'll sue you. I'll tell everyone what kind of person you are. You'll be broke when I'm done." "With what money are you going to sue me, Jess? Your maxed out credit card?" That stopped her cold. The $3,000 shopping spree she couldn't actually afford. You have to help me pay it." "No, I don't. That's your debt. Your choice. Your problem." She started crying, not sad tears, angry, frustrated tears. "But I can't afford it." "Then return the stuff. It's all final sale. Then get a second job." "I don't have time for that." "You work 20 hours a week. You have nothing but time." She threw a wine glass at the wall. It shattered. "I'll ruin you. Clean that up, or I'm deducting it from your security deposit." "I never paid a security deposit." "Exactly. You've lived here rent-free for 18 months, and you're upset about $28,000? Update 2. The escalation has been spectacular. Day after I gave her 30 days notice, I woke up to 56 text messages. Not from Jessica. She was giving me the silent treatment while still living in my apartment. No, these were from her friends, her mom, her cousin, even her hairdresser. "You're a monster. Jessica gave you the best years of her life. Man up and pay her what you owe. Karma will get you." Apparently, she'd told everyone I'd stolen her bonus and left her with debt. Conveniently left out that it was my bonus from my job. But the real kicker came that Thursday. I got home from work to find she'd thrown a support party in my apartment. 8 people, wine bottles everywhere, and they were making TikToks about financial abuse in relationships. "Jessica, what the hell?" Her friend Megan stood up. "We're here to support a victim of economic violence." "Economic violence? She lives here for free." "Exactly." Another friend, Ashley, chimed in. "You trapped her in financial dependence. She chooses to work part-time. She has a degree in marketing. She could get a real job tomorrow." Jessica finally spoke. "See, he's trying to control my career now." I pulled out my phone. "Everyone out, now, or I call the cops." "You wouldn't dare," Jessica said. "Try me." They left, but not before one of them said, "We're documenting everything for Jessica's legal case." I laughed. Good luck with that. The next morning, Jessica had changed tactics. Sweet as pie, making breakfast. "Baby, I've been thinking. Maybe we both overreacted. How about this? You help me with the credit card and we forget all this happened." "No, but I'll have to pay interest." "Yes, you will." "That's not fair. Those purchases were for our future." "Name one thing in those bags that was for us." Silence. Then, "The lingerie. That you'll take to your next relationship?" "Pass." Her mask slipped. "I know where you put the money." My blood went cold. "What?" "Your mom called you crying happy tears last week. You paid off their mortgage, didn't you?" I said nothing. "I'm going to tell them it was you. Ruin your little anonymous gift. Make them feel guilty for taking money that should have been mine." "You wouldn't." "Try me. Unless you want to reconsider that $18,000. That's when I knew exactly who I was dealing with. Update 3. After Jessica's threat about my parents, I had to act strategically. Called my buddy who's a lawyer. He said her threats were basically extortion, but proving it would be messy. Better to document everything and protect myself. Set up cameras in the common areas of my apartment, legal where I live for my own home. Good thing too. Saturday morning, Jessica's mom and aunt showed up unannounced while I was home. Jessica let them in with her tea. We're here to mediate, Diane announced. There's nothing to mediate. Jessica's moving out. The aunt, Linda, pulled out her phone. I'm recording this for Jessica's lawyer. Good, record this. Jessica has paid exactly $0 in rent for 18 months. That's, I did quick math, $27,000 in free housing. She owes me money. They weren't expecting that. Diane sputtered. That's not how relationships work. Apparently, according to Jessica, relationships mean my money is our money. So her living free means she owes me. Unless you want to admit it only goes one way. You're twisting things. Am I? She wants half my bonus? Fine. She owes me half the rent. That's $13,500. Still want to talk lawyers? Jessica went pale. You can't charge me retroactively. You can't charge me for imaginary emotional damages either. But here we are. Then the best part. Diane tried a power move. I know people at your company. One call and you could lose that precious job. I smiled. Diane, I just landed the biggest client in company history. You're a housewife married to a dentist. Who do you think they'll side with? But she actually did it. She called someone. Monday, HR pulled me in. They'd received a complaint about my character. I explained the situation, showed them the threatening texts, the attempted extortion about my parents. HR was not amused. They called it harassment and documented it in case of escalation. Tuesday night was when Jessica made her biggest mistake. I came home to find my laptop open. Bank statements on the screen. She'd tried to transfer money from my savings to her account, but couldn't get past the two-factor authentication. Jessica, did you try to access my bank account? It's our money. No, it's theft. Or attempted theft. I called the cops. She couldn't believe it. When they arrived, she played victim, crying about how we were together and shared everything. I showed them the security footage of her on my laptop, my bank's login attempt notifications. They didn't arrest her, but told her it was attempted fraud, and I could press charges. She was given a formal warning. You have 48 hours to leave, I told her in front of the officers, or I press charges. Where will I go? Not my problem anymore. Update 4. She didn't leave in 48 hours. Instead, she tried one last power play. Thursday morning, I woke up to an empty apartment. Well, empty of Jessica's stuff and a bunch of mine. My PS5, my watch, my signed baseball collection, various electronics. She left a note, holding these as collateral until you pay what you owe. I almost laughed. She filmed herself taking them and sent the video to me as proof I'd given them to her. In the video, she's literally saying, I'm taking these until he pays me my fair share. Called the cops again. This time with video evidence of theft and her written confession. They took it seriously. Put out a warrant. She was at her mom's house with all my stuff. Cops showed up. Diane tried to refuse entry, but they had a warrant. Jessica was arrested. My stuff was returned. I didn't bail her out. Diane called screaming that I was ruining Jessica's life over a misunderstanding. She stole from me. On camera, with written confession. Dropped the charges. She was emotional. Maybe she should have thought of that before committing felony theft. Jessica spent the weekend in jail. Monday morning, her public defender called me. Would I consider dropping charges if she agreed to move out immediately and cease all contact? Add in a restraining order and we have a deal. It was done by Tuesday. But the aftermath? Pure karma working overtime. Without my financial support or a place to live, reality hit Jessica hard. She had to move back with her mom. That $3,000 credit card bill started accumulating interest. She couldn't afford minimum payments on her part-time salary. Her mom refused to help. You said he owed you $18,000. Use that. He won't pay. Then sue him. With what money? Her friends, who were so supportive, suddenly very busy when she needed a place to crash or money to borrow. Turns out people aren't that sympathetic to a grown woman crying about not getting her boyfriend's work bonus. Best part? She had to sell all those investment pieces she bought. Designer bags, shoes, clothes, all sold at a massive loss on resale sites. Made maybe $800 total. Last I heard through the grapevine, she's working full-time now. Imagine that. Still living with mommy. Still paying off that credit card, telling everyone I financially abused her. Can't get a new boyfriend because she leads with my ex stole my bonus. My parents still don't know the mortgage payoff was from me. They think it was an administrative error in their favor that the bank couldn't reverse. They're happy. Planning Dad's retirement party for next year. Me? I'm good. Apartment's quieter. Grocery bills are somehow lower, even though I'm the only one eating. Weird how that works. Got promoted last month. Turns out when you're not dealing with constant drama, you perform better at work. Final update. It's been 6 months now. Thought I'd give one last update because the entitlement apparently has no expiration date. About a month ago, got a LinkedIn message from Jessica. Yeah, she went professional network stalking. Hi. I know we can't talk normally, but I wanted you to know I'm getting married. He's amazing and treats me like a real partner. Just thought you should know what you lost. Also, I still think you owe me closure about the money. I didn't respond, but I was curious. Did some digging. Her new amazing guy? A 22-year-old she met at her retail job. Lives with 4 roommates. Drives for DoorDash on weekends, but here's where it gets good. Diane reached out last week, not to Jessica's phone. She doesn't know I blocked that. No, Diane got a new number just to contact me. Hello, Jessica doesn't know I'm calling. She's making a terrible mistake with this boy. You were stable, successful. She realizes now what she lost. If you took her back, I know she'd appreciate you properly this time. Diane, she stole from me. There's a restraining order. That was a misunderstanding. She was hurt. You know how much she loved you. She loved my money. That's not true. She just wanted to be taken care of. Is that so wrong? When she contributes nothing? Yes. She contributed. She made your house a home. She lived there for free and complained about the groceries I bought. Silence. Then, would you at least consider helping with her credit card? It's ruining her credit. She can't get approved for anything. No, you're heartless. That bonus could have changed her life. It changed my parents' lives. 2 people who actually deserve it. She was going to be your wife. Thank God that didn't happen. Here's the thing. I found out from a mutual acquaintance that Jessica told her fiancé she's debt-free and has family money coming. She's literally repeating the same pattern, looking for someone to bankroll her lifestyle. Also discovered she's been telling people I hid assets during our relationship, and that's why I had money to pay off my parents' mortgage. Like we were married, and I was required to disclose my finances to her. The mutual acquaintance asked if I wanted to warn the new guy. Honestly? Not my circus, not my monkeys. He'll figure it out when she starts talking about how his paycheck is their money while her part-time retail check is for her fund. Looking back, the signs were always there. The way she'd say, we can't afford that when I wanted something, but we deserve this when she wanted something. How she'd call in sick to work to go shopping, but get mad if I worked overtime. The way she genuinely believed that being in a relationship entitled her to full financial support while contributing nothing. That $28,000 bonus? Best investment I ever made. It freed my parents from debt and freed me from a parasite. Worth every penny. As for those saying I should have just shared it, I did share. With the 2 people who sacrificed everything to raise me, who never asked for a dime, who still tried to refuse the bank error until they couldn't. That's what real family looks like. Not someone who sees you as a wallet with legs. Jessica, if you're reading this from your mom's couch while your 22-year-old fiancé delivers someone's Chipotle order, that expensive lingerie you bought, hope it was worth the 23% APR you're still paying. The team is doing just fine without you.